Okay, hello. Welcome to NAB 2024. This is the session you have been waiting for, undoubtedly. That's right. This panel is going to be going and discussing in detail how IMAX Enhanced and its ecosystem allows consumers to have access to the best theatrical experience at home possible. And to do that today, it's my pleasure to introduce two of the industry's leading subject matter experts in this topic. Sven Mevissen, with 20 years of media and entertainment experience, nearly a decade of those with Xperi, as product manager for IMAX Enhanced and other DTS technologies. He's focused on bringing the best experiences to the home while simplifying more and more complex ecosystems for the consumer, not a small task. But he's, of course, followed up by the legendary Deston Bennett, who heads up globally the business development and partnerships for IMAX Enhanced for the IMAX Corporation, based out of Los Angeles. With more than 15 years experience in media and entertainment, Deston's focused on connecting the world through extraordinary experiences to inspire us to reimagine what's possible by growing the IMAX Enhanced ecosystem. So let's get started straight away. I've got a lot of questions to get through. It's going to be really interesting. So guys, tell me, what exactly is IMAX Enhanced today, and why should we, and me in particular, be excited about that?
So IMAX Enhanced is an elevated home entertainment offering that was brought to life through a partnership between IMAX and DTS to deliver a consumer experience that's unrivaled in the market today. It consists of a content experience that delivers exclusive IMAX versions of the films that's coupled with a certified device experience that delivers high-performance IMAX quality presentation in the home.
And the goal for that really is, Destin, that you want to align or get that home experience as close as possible to what's being shown in theaters. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So, IMAX works really hard with filmmakers and studios to deliver an exceptional presentation in the theater. And IMAX Enhanced was designed to bring that theatrical experience into the home. And so by doing that, we take our exclusive versions of IMAX films and bring them into the home on streaming services with specific features and benefits like expanded aspect ratio that take our 143 and 190 versions in the theaters and bring those into the home. And that's coupled with the IMAX audio experience that is delivered via DTS technology in the home. And that takes our 12-channel or 5.0 audio and reconfigures that for home audio experience.
So I think one of the questions that a lot of people are going to want to know, the answer to is really how is, there's a lot of standards and formats out there in the industry today, both audio and video. How is IMAX Enhanced different from those other programs and, technologies that are being streamed and available today? Is that one?
Sure. So I think it's important to realize that IMAX Enhanced in itself is not a format, right? It's not a technical format. It's really an ecosystem. And it's unique in the sense that it's combining content and the device certification part. And there is also a device-optimized playback scenario where the content triggers certain playback modes on those devices, on TVs and on AVRs. And that connection really is unique, and something that, is really part of bringing that experience to consumers at home, so they don't have to push, various buttons to make sure that their TV is set to the right picture mode, or, push other buttons to make sure that their AVRs and soundbars are set up in the right way. The idea is that basically by, playing back content from a service like Disney Plus, receiving then on those certified devices, there is not much the consumer needs to do other than enjoy the experience.
So that's pretty exciting, right? But let's just say I'm a consumer, and I want to buy some technology. I want to go in. I want to experience IMAX Enhanced the best way I can. How do I know, basically, if the devices that I'm going to go and buy, let's say I go into a real retailer today, what's the best way of ensuring that I purchase a device that's going to allow me to have the best IMAX experience possible?
Ask the salesperson to point you in the right direction. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's really simple. Our certified devices are branded IMAX Enhanced. That's part of our certification program. They go through a really strict review process that is designed by IMAX and DTS and other Hollywood experts to qualify the performance of those devices. And so when you go into a retail store or you're purchasing a device online, potentially, if you look for the IMAX Enhanced branding, that'll signal that the device is capable of performing at the standards for an IMAX quality presentation.
Sorry, Sven.
Just one addition to this. Obviously, all of that is correct. IMAX Enhanced is an additive ecosystem, so you don't have to have all your devices being IMAX Enhanced certified. But the more you buy into the program and the more you pay attention to the IMAX Enhanced label on your devices, the better the experience is going to get for you at home.
And I think the next follow-up question that probably everybody here is going to ask is, we don't have to spend $50,000 on this equipment, right? I mean, you can come in at various levels.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can spend $50,000 easily if you want to. But we've expanded the ecosystem and, into adjacent markets. We have soundbars in the program. We have, very expensive TVs, but also not so expensive TVs in the program as long as they meet our criteria and specification. And that's really what this label stands for, that, outside of taking care of that consumer confusion where you go into a Best Buy and you see all those labels with like 4K HDR and UHD and all that stuff. The idea is you look for the IMAX Enhanced label and you're buying into a quality experience. And to simplify that experience, that's why we've developed this brand.
And I believe anybody in this room is welcome to go to the IMAX booth just behind. Is that right?
Yeah.
What are you showing there? Maybe go into some detail.
Here at booth 1509, the IMAX booth, we're currently showing the IMAX Enhanced on Disney Plus experience. Some of you may have seen the announcement yesterday that we made around delivering IMAX Enhanced sound on Disney Plus with DTS. That'll be launching on May 15th with the Queen Rock Montreal title. But if you're interested in seeing what that audio and visual experience looks like, if you visit our booth, we're currently showcasing some demonstrations with Marvel titles, specifically Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And you get to sit in the booth and get that real immersive experience and understand what the offering's all about.
So that's really cool. So really the only barrier to entry is on May 15th, you've got a Disney Plus subscription. You could try it out on the equipment you have, and maybe it's already going to support IMAX Enhanced, because I believe the software actually identifies. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so within the app, the software does device detection, and it's capable of identifying if you have a certified device that's specifically enabled with DTS:X, so that we can deliver that IMAX Enhanced sound in the home. But to Sven's point earlier, it's an added ecosystem. So if you're watching content on Disney Plus, you are capable of watching the IMAX version, and it is improved, but the optimal experience is going to be delivered on those certified devices.
And amazingly, there's no upcharge, right? Disney provides.
Not at all.
That's correct, yeah.
Brilliant.
And that's real value for the consumer.
It really is. So Sven, you're the German on the stage, which means that I'm going to lead you with a technical question, because who would be better to answer that? More honestly.
In German, or you want to?
We'll keep it English for now. US English is possible. But what does the certification process look like? So if I'm sure we've got some vendors in the audience here. If they want to, they're making a projector or an amplifier, right. They want to get this certified. Your company Xperi go through and do the certification. How does that work?
Yeah. So obviously that's device dependent, right? Certification for a TV looks different than certification for a soundbar. But ultimately, we developed those specifications, in combination with IMAX to make sure that they meet the highest performance criteria basically in market today. If you look at a TV, it's the obvious basically around contrast ratio, around how bright those TVs can get, flag levels. We talk about color accuracy, and we want to make sure that, again, what we list in our device specification is being met by those devices that are being submitted by certification. And that process is very typical for any kind of technology certification in market today. So we get a sample of that particular product that a TV OEM, for example, is going to want to have certified. We look at this. There is, a technical, we measure, we have golden eyes testing, and then we basically give that certificate back to the TV OEM, and then they can start market those products with the IMAX Enhanced logo. It's very similar on the audio side. Obviously, we don't talk about black levels on the audio side. We talk, frequency response. If we have loudspeakers, we want to make sure that's a linear response and things like that. So again, it's device dependent. We've been expanding the ecosystem into sort of adjacent markets. As I mentioned, we have laptops now in the program. We have projectors in the program. We have tablets and mobile phones in the program. But they all follow sort of like the idea of really providing a best-in-class experience for that particular device category that consumers are looking to buy.
No, that's a great answer. So I think you confirm there really is a quality bar that has to be met by whatever the device is to enable that
Exactly.
IMAX Enhanced logo. Deston?
Yeah. Well, and I would just add to that, it's an evolving technical specification. So as technology improves and new devices are brought to market, we're constantly working together in a collaborative manner to make sure that those technical specifications for certification meet the needs of the device manufacturers to deliver.
All right, well, let's change the topic a little bit, because I think we've established, I think consumers really love that IMAX, experience that we've been talking about. I think we understand there's a certification process, but what's in it for the content owners? So, I mean, we've mentioned Disney Plus. Obviously, there are 5 big studios out there. There are a raft of other broadcasters. What's in it for them? Could you go into some detail there?
Yeah. So at a high level, for content owners, the value that IMAX Enhanced delivers is, at a high level, the exclusive IMAX versions of the film, which typically either have only been seen in IMAX theaters or have been delivered and now are remastered in the IMAX Enhanced format, for that high performance, high quality presentation. Along with that, we do a proprietary pre-processing stage where we go in and use IMAX DMR to improve the picture quality, denoise, degrain, much clearer picture. We improve colors and brightness to make sure that presentation on the device is met at the consumer level. And part of that is a calibration mode, which we call IMAX Enhanced mode, which I'll let Sven speak a little bit more to on the technical side. But that's really built into the TV devices and audio devices to automatically calibrate the device to deliver that high performance presentation when an IMAX Enhanced title is presented.
Yeah, I would say so similar. If you look at it from a consumer perspective, you want to have a best-in-class experience. But defining that best-in-class experience is really, working with filmmakers, making sure that their content is presented in the best way possible, right? So they get the reassurance that if I have IMAX, if consumers at home have an IMAX certified setup, that again, the picture is not set to vivid mode or sports mode. And, you get all those motion, artifacts and things like that. And on the audio side, it's very similar, right? You want to make sure that you get, really good. And with IMAX Enhanced sound, it's really the theatrical version of the mix. So it's basically untouched from, theatrical print master that was shown in IMAX theaters to what consumers can now for the first time experience at home with full dynamic range of the theatrical experience. On IMAX Enhanced certified devices. Again, that's how filmmakers intended their content to be seen. And obviously that's one of the premises that the content services have as well, to make sure that really, their content shines on the consumer side and they're not getting any calls that something is not correct.
So I think actually, sorry to cut you in, but I think we actually hit on something quite important there. So what you're saying is what's being streamed by those streaming platforms is actually the theatrical master, effectively, that was shown in the IMAX theater. Am I correct in saying that? Obviously, you're converting it, but you're using the master that was shown in the IMAX theater. That's a very important distinction, I think.
Absolutely. And then that's specifically true for the soundtrack. Right? It's the first time that you can get a theatrical soundtrack at home for a title like, any of the Marvel movies, right? On the image side, there is a little bit of a different process. Because of HDR technology and consumer electronics devices, it's different than what you get in cinema. But when it comes to DMR processing, so that the proprietary, remastering that IMAX, applies also to theatrical content. And of course, the expanded aspect ratio. That's also, unique to the IMAX Enhanced content for consumers at home.
Yeah. So in effect, because the next question was, how do the streaming platforms support IMAX Enhanced? That's effectively, they have to obtain the IMAX masters from the studio. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the streamers take our IMAX Enhanced version of the content, which include both a picture and audio asset. And to Sven's point, that's the theatrical print master that's been converted specifically for home streaming. And so that's different from what you typically see, both on the picture and audio side. And with expanded aspect ratio, most films are viewed in 240. The IMAX enhanced versions are typically 185 or 190 to open up and give you that expanded viewing experience, get you to see a lot more of the picture that you typically wouldn't see, in your normal home viewing environment.
Oh, that's a great overview. So staying on the subject of streaming platforms, in what ways does IMAX Enhanced optimize the audio and video quality for those IMAX Enhanced streams? And I think we mentioned Disney Plus. Either of you can answer.
You want to take audio first? Or
I can take audio. It's really more an adaptation, right? Again, we preserve the full dynamic range of the original mix, based on the fact that IMAX theaters are built very uniquely when it comes to like sound system. They don't have, dedicated LFE channels in the content. There's a little bit of an adaptation, but this is just making sure that it lays back well in the consumer environment. So again, in terms of creative intent, it's untouched. In terms of dynamic range, it's untouched. It's really, and you're welcome to experience it in our booth. It's really a theatrical experience for consumers at home. And on the audio side specifically, I hand it off for Image.
Yeah, so on top of the audio side, it's really, again, about capturing the creative intent of the filmmaker and making sure that that's preserved at home. And so on the picture side, we use our proprietary DMR to deliver that picture. It's an adaptation, like Sven mentioned, but it's preserving the full dynamic range of the picture quality. There are some improvements on color and brightness to deliver on television devices specifically, but for the most part, it's about preserving that picture quality that you know and love in the IMAX theater.
And you've mentioned DMR a few times. What does that actually stand for those people who wouldn't know?
Digital media remastering.
Gotcha.
And that's a denoise, degrain tool that IMAX uses specifically for our feature films.
And that's all done in Playa Vista, I believe.
It is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. There are some international post houses that also do the work for some of our local language films, but most of that work is done in-house at IMAX.
All right. So on to some more sort of exciting news. I believe there's a very large press announcement made yesterday regarding Disney Plus, but I think we should reiterate this for the crowd because it's quite a milestone, I believe, there, Sven.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to continue talking about this for the next 6 months. It is in fact a milestone. So we've launched IMAX Enhanced content on Disney Plus about 2.5 years ago with Image first, and we are now getting to a second phase to add the other 50% of the experience, which is IMAX Enhanced sound by DTSX. And so we're really excited to really deliver the full experience to consumers at home with this edition. And we are launching May 15th with a catalog of titles, and I'll let Deston speak to what titles those are.
Yeah, so we're launching on May 15th. Our hero title is our first opportunity to bring an IMAX concert film experience into the home, and that's Queen Rock Montreal, which will be live on Disney Plus on May 15th with IMAX Enhanced Sound with DTS. Coupled with that will also be 18 of the Marvel films that currently exist on Disney Plus, which will now feature the IMAX Enhanced Sound feature with DTS as well.
That's really exciting. And again, all that's required is that Disney Plus subscription, and everyone can watch it here.
You need a subscription and you need a capable device.
Correct. But everyone should try and see
absolutely, absolutely. And if you don't have a capable device, you should go out and buy one.
And of course, I think the interesting thing is as well is that if you do have a capable device, doesn't the software actually cut now and tell you? Can you talk a little bit about that in detail? Because that's really useful for consumers.
Absolutely. So the Disney Plus app basically detects the capability of the device and then tells you what is available on that device. And if you have a capable device that supports DTSX, and we have many TV OEMs in the program, we have Sony, Hisense, TCL, and others. So if you launch the app starting May 15th and you pick one of those titles, you will get a little advertisement actually, when you play back that title for the first time that will announce, hey, there is a new feature available for you on your device. Do you want to opt in? And then once you've opted it once, it's kind of like a sticky setting, so it will remember it. And from then on, you will always get the DTSX version, the IMAX Enhanced sound with DTSX version for those particular titles. So you can't really miss it if you have the right equipment, which is great.
Yeah, and I think the more important thing to add to that is the fact that Disney Plus did a really great job of offering the consumer freedom of choice. And so most consumers are used to kind of your click and play experience, but now they're giving consumers the opportunity to elevate that experience through enhanced audio, through our partners over here at DTS.
So let's just make sure everyone understands what's going on. So mainly for my benefit, but right now, IMAX Enhanced allows you to get the full aspect ratio pictures. So that means all the additional pixels in that stream that you'd see in the theater.
Correct. On select titles and select sequences too. Yep. It's a filmmaker creative decision.
Yep. But that's actually available on Disney Plus.
Correct.
And on top of that, it's the 12-channel audio that was seen in theatrical.
It is the theatrical mix. It's actually 10 channels.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 5.1.4 configuration.
But on May 15th, we can all go
yes
and try that out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible and fantastic. It really is a big milestone.
To Deston's point, and I really want to make sure that that's clear, right? So that full dynamic range of the mix is not necessarily meant to be played back on TV speakers, right? Ideally, you have, performing soundbar, or even you have like an AVR and loudspeakers attached. It will still sound good, but I would not necessarily, recommend it.
Absolutely. I think.
And that's just sort of like the audio geek speaking to me. I'm probably going to get into trouble with my marketing folks, but that's just what it is.
Let me just repeat the question there. So I think the lady would like clarification on the expanded aspect ratio. And I think this is a common point of confusion, so we should...
Oh, the sound is throughout the movie.
Yes, throughout the entire film, yes.
Yeah.
No, the entire film is remastered for IMAX Enhanced, but there are select portions of the film, depending on the creator's choice, where they use IMAX's expanded aspect ratio feature, which goes from 240 to 185 or 190 to give you more picture on the television screen, like you'd be used to seeing in our IMAX theater with our 1:3 aspect ratio, which is the very tall. Yeah, high action sequences, things like that really are more important for the storytelling narrative of the film.
Okay, so keep things moving along. Obviously, we've seen the big announcement from Disney Plus. Is there other studio content out there available today?
Yeah, there's other studio content available today. We have over 250 titles in the Sony Pictures platform, and that's available on Sony Bravia TVs via their Sony Pictures Core streaming service. And then we also have a selection of Paramount titles that are available with the Sony titles on Rakuten TV in Europe as well.
So this movement really... Oh, sorry, Sven, I think you have more to add.
Just additional services in China with iQIYI and Tencent, who also offer local content as well as some of the Sony content. Yeah.
Great. Well, we're coming close to an end. So one of the things I just wanted to cover as well, we've mentioned displays and we've mentioned audio. Projectors included? This is another question that comes up a lot. Could you just confirm that?
Yeah, we have dedicated certification specifications for projectors. And in fact, we have Sony projectors in the program since 2019. And we just added a Chinese manufacturer called Xperi. Their high-end projectors, the first smart projector in the program, which also we have it on display.
There's one on display in the booth.
Yeah. But it's a really nice looking piece of equipment.
And what about the trend that we've seen with mobile devices or tablets? Is there a story for IMAX Enhanced there, or is this purely for living room experiences at that point?
No, I'd say absolutely. The goal for IMAX Enhanced and IMAX at large is to have the best viewing experience anywhere possible. So we deliver our IMAX Enhanced titles on streaming on tablets and mobile devices as well. And we have certification partner in China by the name of Honor. There are tablets as well available in our booth that you can check out. And that's coupled again with audio enhancements with support from DTS as well.
Yeah, we have headphone technology that obviously on a tablet theatrical mix is not necessarily the ideal form of consuming audio, but we have headphone technology to render a binaural experience for those devices.
All right, great. Well, that nearly wraps up our session. Obviously, I know the Xperi booth is just over there, and the IMAX booth is just behind us. Sorry,
Xperi booth is over there.
Yeah.
do you have any, I'd just like to give you the opportunity just to close out with a statement from each of you about, IMAX Enhance and.
Yeah. IMAX Enhance is available worldwide on Disney+. Again, we're launching Queen Rock Montreal with IMAX Enhanced Sound with DTS on May 15th. If you have time before you leave the show, definitely visit the IMAX booth at 1509 as well as the Xperi booth just down the way. And we'd love to talk more with you. If you have any questions, we're happy to have a conversation.
Yeah. Again, really excited to bring this full experience to consumers at home. It's a great partnership with IMAX. And, we are looking, very, very excited into the future and what comes next.
And I think I would end by saying it is an experience, right? So
100%.
That is
the only way you can enjoy it is by experiencing that, whether that's at home or here at the booth. I certainly took a look at the demos earlier today, was completely blown away. It really is a fantastic experience. A great job, both of you.
Thank you, Dan.
Both companies, and we look forward to seeing what the future brings. Let's hope it's IMAX Enhanced for all.
Thank you, Dan.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time.